Hello, everyone. Um, I had kind of a question, something that I was noticing while listening to a YouTube video a while back, that somebody had said that they had fallen asleep, had a dream. This is a person who was a born-again Christian, and that's a believer in Christ, John 3:16, Romans 10:9. And this person had a dream, a very vivid dream, and a really scary dream, that they had a vision of hell. They were shown a vision of hell by God and saw their friend in hell, actually saw their friend in hell, and in the agony of hell and in the fire of hell. And then they woke up. So the thing that the person said in the video was that they thought this so strange because the person, their friend, who they saw in hell in the dream, was still alive and not dead at all. So this person went and told their friend the dream and led that friend to Christ. That scared this friend of this person who had the dream, and actually they were very scared, and this led the person to Christ. So we can see right there the plan God had for that. But I was thinking a little further and thought to myself, you know what, when we are believers in Christ, I was thinking about Ephesians chapter 2, 6, about Christ, that he hath raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. So the believers in Jesus are actually spiritually positioned, seated in heaven, in heavenly places, and we're seated with Christ at the right hand of the Father. Spiritually, that's where we're positioned, because we have a spirit, and when our spirit is renewed in Christ, we are automatically seated in heavenly places with Christ. So spiritually, that's where we actually are. And so I got thinking to myself, you know what, I wonder if in the very same way, and it would make sense, because if we as believers are positioned spiritually, why wouldn't an unbeliever be positioned spiritually? Although this is, I don't know this to be, I don't think this is in the Bible. It's just something, a question I'm wondering myself, you know. But it kind of makes sense. The person that is an unbeliever, could they be positioned in hell spiritually, even though they're not dead yet? Because the believer in Christ is, while we're alive on earth, spiritually placed in heaven with Christ. So why not? You know, I wonder if that actually is the way it works. And I'm not saying that's the way it works. I'm just wondering. It's something, you know, I wouldn't know, I guess, until I go to be with the Lord one day. But it's just one of those things, you know. I thought that's a really interesting, that's an interesting dream, and it was really cool that person was brought to Christ through that. Just that people walking around on this earth, some are positioned spiritually so that, you know, already before they die in a specific place, either heaven or maybe also spiritually placed in hell. And while you're on this earth, you have time to change that. I'm talking only the unsaved person, only the one who is not a believer in Christ, that's not born again yet. They have an opportunity to change that position, where they're positioned spiritually now on this earth. by believing in Jesus Christ. John 3:16, Romans 10:9. Google that. And anyway, I just thought that was an interesting, that was really interesting. God bless.